Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to replace a mobile home furnace. As we get into the winter season, a lot of you homeowners that have mobile homes might be interested in seeing what all is involved in replacing your furnace. And it's actually quite easy. So let's get right into it. All right, so this is generally how a mobile home furnace is laid out. They're pretty basic. So these are all a downflow system. So we have our gas furnace here, we have our blower up there, and typically you'd have your A coil for your air conditioner down here. Now this particular system does not have an AC coil, and that's going to significantly make this job easier. But if you did have a coil here, you would have refrigerant lines that come up and go into the coil. So you would need to pump that refrigerant into the condenser, lock it in there, and then you could cut these and remove that coil. Now for this particular one, we're gonna forgo that, and a lot of this stuff has already been dismantled. So our electric is just right here. We just have two wires here, and then our two wires for our thermostat. So the biggest thing with this is getting the venting removed. So we're going to be removing this vent, and we're gonna be reusing this one because all of these systems are basically oriented the same. And so we're gonna start by removing this little grate right here. And this is going to allow us to have access to the screws that hold that vent in place. So once we have this taken off, we'll show you what it looks like up here. All right, so now that we have this little cover off here, as you can see, we just have a screw there that we're gonna take off. We'll feel around for the other side, but once we have this off, we should be able to slide this whole furnace out. So we're gonna tilt the bottom and slide it out this way. And we'll try and document that process as well. All right, so that screw has been removed at the top. So we're just gonna lift up on the bottom here and kind of pivot it out and see if we can get this to come out. I just wanted to pause this video to talk about something that I truly appreciate, and that is jobber. As we get into the colder months, we're doing a lot of maintenance plans, and recently we hired on our first employee, so we're excited to utilize the scheduling tools that Jobber has to offer. So for the past few weeks, we've been using Jobber to schedule our maintenance calls with our employee, and it has saved so much time, and it has made coordinating these maintenance plans with our new employee that much easier. Another thing that I love about Jobber is their request form. So before I had Jobber, people would call me in the middle of winter, super busy, and I'd have to coordinate jotting down their information, what they needed. But now with Jobber, I can send a request form to them via email or text. They simply fill that request form out, and it auto saves in Jobber. So I don't have to input anything. Their contact info is automatically saved, and it saves me so much time. If you're interested in Jobber and have a service business, check out the link in the video description where you can get a 14-day, no obligations, free trial to see if it's a good fit for your business. Let's get back into our video. All right, guys, this is really tight quarters, so I wasn't able to get that last little bit out or filmed. But basically all we did was we pivoted this way and slid it out from this guy. It was a pretty tight fit. We are gonna see what our height is on our new furnace, and basically we'll have to do some adaptation here. So we might have to trim this, but in order to not have to mess with stuff on the roof, I would prefer that because it's got a huge layer of membrane on it. We're gonna get our new furnace unboxed, and as you can see, we've just got our electrical there for our 110 fan. Our gas on these furnaces is right here on the base pan. Goes around over there, so that'll be really easy to connect. And then our thermostat wire, we'll just extend that and run it to the furnace. So we're gonna go ahead and get this whole area cleaned up, all vacuumed out, and we'll show you what we got. All right, so here's our new furnace. We're gonna be doing two furnaces here. Make sure and stay tuned for this one. This is a upgrade to a 96%. So we're gonna be changing that metal venting to PVC. This one's gonna be really easy, and it's gonna be a lot more efficient. This one, they opted for the 80%. So we're gonna get this unboxed and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, so we got everything nice and cleaned up here. Everything's looking good. Now, as far as this goes, the new furnace is the exact same dimensions, same height and everything. So if you look up here, you'll see that that sleeve up there will slide around this sleeve on the furnace. And then that outer one will go on the outside here. The middle one, as long as it slips into this one, we're golden. And that's literally all we have to do up there. So this might actually be really easy. We have our thermostat wire here. We're only going to be using red and white for this one. This is your common, and this is for cooling. This is just a heat only. And then our main power will just go into this box, and we have an on-off switch there. And as you can see, we have natural gas, so we won't have to do any changing or anything. This little orifice here is if you're adapting to propane, but as you can see on our nameplate here, this is a natural gas furnace, so we don't have to do any adjustments there. We will, however, throw our manometer on here and just make sure that the natural gas pressures are within spec, but these are typically pretty good right out of the box. Okay, so we've got this piece. We tried to go ahead and fit this and just slide our new one, kind of pivot it and go up, but it was hitting right here. And so we just cut some tabs and bent this out so that our new pipe will easily just slide right up in there. And as you can see, even once we go past this, we're gonna be up in here about 3 inches, and then we will attach to this piece. So what I might actually do at the same time is go ahead and straighten this out to where it needs to be, and we can go ahead and slide our new furnace in. All right, so we're gonna try and show you how we're gonna maneuver this to get it into the space, but again, it's really tight quarters, so I'm gonna have to do this pretty strategically. We're just going to lift the bottom and pivot it onto that platform down there. 1, 2, 3. Almost. All right, so this looks a little bit ghetto, but it'll work totally fine. So the middle piece that we expanded, the pipe here just slid straight in. I forgot to take a video of that. And then we just cut a piece of sheet metal to adapt the difference here. And we're just gonna seal all of this with Pookie. And as long as everything is sealed, and then we can move on to our electrical and our gas, and that's pretty much it. All right, so this is where we're at. We got the top totally done. I'll show you that in just a second. We're just getting our gas fittings set up here. So we're gonna have this flex line, and we installed a new valve right here, and it will just attach there. So we'll show you that when we're finished tightening this up. And up here, a little sloppy, but we've got Pookie all the way around, so everything's sealed. And again, that's just for the fresh air. The main thing that you really want to make sure is sealed is the middle, and just make sure that your outside one slips over the nipple on the furnace, and that'll make sure that everything goes out of the flue. We're gonna put our blower motor back in. We took this out because it was kind of heavy with it in there. It was really easy. All we have is 2 screws, one there and one at the top left. And then you lift up and pivot it out. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go in to the right and down. All right, so our gas is done. We have our flex line there. This little bottom piece just snaps in like so. Our electrical is done, very easy. So the Romex just comes to here. This is how they have it from the factory. We have a connector there for ground, white to white, black to black. And then we just have 2 jumpers. I don't have any thermostat wire on my truck. I forgot to put that back in my truck. There was just a red and a white. So we're just hooking up the red and the white, and yellow is for AC, gray is for common. Those are just wire nutted. So we're gonna throw our fan back in, and we'll be completely ready to fire this up. We need to turn the gas on and just check this for any leaks, and then we can start it up. All right, so our electrical is wrapped up, fan is in. We just turned the thermostat on and I hear the inducer running. We've got a little sight here, but I wouldn't advise opening that until it's actually lit, just to verify. But if you have gas buildup in there, you don't want anything shooting out. And we have ignition. Okay, so upon initial startup, the fan speed was really high. It's blowing a lot of air out of the vents. And I want to show you how easy this is to change. So you'll notice on this block right here, there's 5 numbers. And if you notice down here at the control board, so right there you can see our cooling wire is yellow and our heat wire, as you can see, is red. So if we follow this back up to here, the red wire currently was going to 3, which is basically middle of the ground fan speed. But as soon as this furnace kicks back on, I'll show you going from 2 to 3 to 4 how the fan speed reacts. Okay, so our fan just came on. We're currently on number 2. Now if you notice, while the fan is running, we're going to pull this out and we're going to swap it over to 3. See how it ramped up several hundred CFM. We're going to go to 4. That's even higher, but even at 3 we were just blowing way too much air. So we're going to move this over to 2, and that's going to be perfect for this size space. All right, so we got a great temp rise. We're climbing to about 120. If we let this sit, we'll probably get closer to 130 out of the vents, but nice and hot air coming out. And our fan speed is perfect. And this is our finished product here. Really nice look to it. They're remodeling this place, so they got some work to do with this door. And once you close this, obviously it's not as loud either. Just like that. Well guys, I hope you found this video informative as far as replacing your mobile home furnace. Overall, this is a lot easier than replacing a traditional furnace. Now, if you're interested in doing an upgrade and upgrading to a 95 or 96% furnace instead of replacing it with the same 80% efficiency furnace, check out this video and we're going to show you how to do that upgrade. Overall, it was an easy process and I highly recommend going to the 95% furnace. Until next time, you guys be safe. Later.